So I want to do a follow-up on my video about Senran Kagura Burst Newal controversy. But before that, I just want to clarify something about the video what I did there. Yeah, it's sort of more of a complaint than an angry rant, whatever. And it's just something a lot of people are irritated with it, especially if you've been following Nintendo and the Wii U times. A lot of their censorship with their games, so you kind of like just irritated, but it's not. Is it really a big deal? Well, it kind of should be, because if they can do it for one game, they can also do it on another game, and then another game, and another game. And like I said, do I really care about that "it is me" mode? Well, not so much. I mean, it's just good to be there because that's what the game is meant for. I mean, there's a reason why the creator put it there. And like I said before, that if the ESRB did not have a problem, if the ESRB themselves did not have a problem, why does Sony does? That's the problem. And what basically I see there now is that either here's a problem with censorship. It's a bigger thing than just, oh well, think about the children, think about the what's the word? Innocent gamers, the clean gamers. Okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go all religious there, even though I'm a religious person. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. See, that's what I mean. But the point is that it is more than media. It's not just, oh, get rid of the bad thing in a video game. It's more of that. Like I said, behind the scene, XSeed was almost done with the game, localizing the game. They put their time and money and effort to the game to make the best game for the fans. And then in the very last minute, Sony said, oh, there's this mode we don't want to do. You better remove it. So they had to delay the game, not to improve the game, but to remove something. So, I mean, to some extent, what's the word? Inconsiderate. That's the word I'm looking for. And they have this history in the past that this happened. Case in point was, believe it or not, during the PS2 era, SNK. Did you know that when SNK with Ben Herman was still the president, they didn't know about it until it was too late. They were almost done with the game. They were gonna get the permission from Sony to allow to release the game, because you do need some permission before you can just release any game, quality reason. And then when they asked them how much you're gonna sell for this game, and they told them the price, they said, "Oh, didn't we tell you?" Like, there was some, I don't know who's writing this one, but then there have been stories like Sony at a time did tell them ahead of time that SNK didn't really listen, or vice versa. And then the opposite to that was that SNK said, oh, we didn't know about it. We didn't know about this thing until it was too late. Again, but you kind of see the pattern there. But according to Tom at XSeed, they said that they didn't even know about it until it was already too late. That's what it is. That's why they were just willing to do it, because they already worked so hard about it. And apparently for them, according to them, if they knew about it, that, oh, we have to remove it prior to localizing the game, they would have not even do it, because they know the fans, they're not going to be happy about it. I'm not going to be happy about it. So that's another reason. Another reason is you're putting politics on video game. And I'll explain that why. When you censor something, or you prevent something, or to some extent, like I said, again, this could be subjective, stopping freedom to some extent, kind of redundant there, you're sending sort of a message more than just a big message. You're saying, you're telling people what to like and what not to like. Yes, I mean, granted, if someone's trying to be logical here, it's going to be very, very analytical, logical here, to say, oh, well, so what? So it's okay to steal, it's okay to, do bad things. No, that it's a video game. It's not real. It doesn't. I mean, if it's affecting your real life, then yes, there's something wrong there. Seriously, I mean, people keep always saying that there's violence in video game, and again, I don't want to go there, but that's sort of a politic there. So censorship is something, preventing something. You're basically saying, "Oh, this is not good. Like, this is not good. It can hurt society." Like, how is it this hurting society? It's a video game, and like I said, Senran Kagura is M-rated. It's not meant for kids. If an adult bought it for their kids, That's their choice. Why does a third party needs to govern this type of thing? And now I'm going to the political level in here, in the area, and that's the problem. Why? So a lot of time people can think, oh, censorship is just bad. Let's just, let's just do like, just only offer good things, not bad things. Well, I can understand that to some extent, but to some extent also, that's like a double standard. I'm sorry to say. So if it's something like really fantasy or something that's unrealistic, oh, that's okay. But then something like an intimacy mode, cause kind of be realistic. But again, the touching. I mean, that's what the game is. I mean, it could be also that not Nintendo, Sony has that problem. I mean, like I said, Fire Emblem Fate had that mode in Japan. Yes, people might think, oh wait, is that okay in a video game? Okay, when you think that it's okay because you're doing a video game, again, people, the general consumer, video games are not real. The whole point why people sometimes like to play video game is not to entertain, not just only to entertain themselves, it's to sometimes to get out of reality. I mean, again, I'm talking about real talk here a bit. To get out of reality, say you have a hard day of work, you don't want to think about work, you don't want to think about anything, you just want to have fun. You want to just go to your fantasy world, like, Sesame Street imagination. I know I'm going weird here, but just hear them out. That's what the video game does. It's fantasy. But when you think that video game is like real reality, life is like a video game, one, you got a problem. Two, I really suggest to prioritize your things. You got to fix your priorities, man, because that's dangerous to some extent. So that's why censorship is bad. It's a bit of dictatorship. You're telling people what to like and not like. You're preventing the creator of the games, whatever. You're telling them, no, it's not okay. And you say, well, maybe the creator are doing something, want to do something that is inappropriate for the gamers, the adult gamers. Again, developers are not that stupid. They know where to draw the line. If the game, they want to go to an adult level game, then they'll have an AO rating. Yes, there is such thing as AO level, adults only ratings, and that's a rarity. Like, no ever developer going to be that dumb unless the game is meant for an adult, like literally an adult. M-rated game just basically mean you got to be mature enough to do it. And if a parent wanted to buy it for the kid, I know it could be wrong, but hey, you know what? I can't do anything about it. I know people who have kids that they basically bought games for them because they know that the kid knows what's real and what's not. And if you're a person that you don't know, again, you got to fix your priorities there. I don't know what else to say about that thing. So that's the reason why it's bad. Not only the dictatorship, inconsiderate to XSeed. Now they need to use more resource, more time, potential not getting sales because they didn't put it on their target date sale. Because Sony said, oh, no, we can't have that there. No siree Bob there. See, that's the problem. And like I said, I'm so confused because they're anti-censorship, yet I guess there's a rule. The minute it's all about touchy, then they're concerned. Like I said, yeah. And yes, in my opinion, it is a controversy. Not because they got rid of something that's, it's meant for older gamers. Okay, so first, before I even do this follow-up, I want to give my opinion about, of course, there's going to be people that, it's good, they removed it, this is not what about video game. I read this on the internet about, like, people are happy about it. I mean, that's cool, it's your opinion. I don't give a shit about it. So, all I can say to you is that, your opinion, whatever, it is what it is. So with that, I'm moving on. I don't care about your opinion. So with that, I want to give my opinion. I want to give my reason why I did a video, because first of all, what's worse than not having English dub on Japanese game, in my opinion, and again, that's the option. I'm not forcing any company to do it. I would say it would be nice, more sale, my opinion. That's it. What's worse about that is censoring in the game. That's what's supposed to be in the game. There was a reason why the original developer put it in, and then you're going to remove it. To some extent, there's a lot of stories of why this and that. Yes, a lot of time it's regulation rule. Sometimes, quote unquote, market reason why they felt like they need to remove it. And another one is culture clash. What's good in Japan does not necessarily mean good in America, so they had to do some changes. A lot of those regulations I can understand. But when the ESRB themselves said, hey, we don't see any problem here. I think the game for what it is okay for M-rated. Case in point, Senran Kagura, included an Itisami mode, whatever you call that mode called. They had no problem with that mode, yet the company themselves, Sony, decided to say, oh yeah, we have a problem with that mode. And like I said, the reason why I said that you're blocking freedom, because you're basically now suddenly, Sony's being, in my opinion, they're being quote unquote big brother. You're dictating the consumer, your fan, which game they should play in your platform. This is how you're supposed to like it. Again, it's kind of like not having English dub on Japanese game, or maybe all the way back, forcing people to buy the Kinect with the Xbox One. Yes, sometimes in perspective business, it makes kind of sense, but if you listen to the link of the consumer who supports you, they keep saying, hey, the Kinect is not good, we don't want the Kinect, make it an option. Even Phil Spencer said, yes, I agree, yes, we like consumer to have option. Why can't it be the same thing with English dub? But again, like I said, it's not about English dub. More of, why can't we have that mode? Why can't grown-up gamers who grew up playing Nintendo, they're like in their 30s, 40, play whatever they want? Play how they want the game it's supposed to be. Its original form. Not taking out stuff and denying it. If you don't, I'm gonna like Alpha Omega Sensei. Yes, I'm gonna quote from him. Alpha Omega Sensei always say, don't like it, don't play it, don't acknowledge it, ignore it. If someone likes it, cool. If you don't like it, then leave it the hell alone. What do you need to butt in? I mean, I don't get it. See, that's why I'm kind of irritated with Sony as of right now. This policy, left and right, to some extent, I may agree. Some of them I don't. But to some extent, in the end of the day, they're all utterly ridiculous. And why? The 2D anti-policy rule. So a lot of people think, is that real or not? Well, from what I've heard, it depends which developer you ask, but they have said it's sort of real, and that is you can't sell a classic game, a 2D game, in a retail price such as $50, because kind of like it is say Metal Slug 3 for $50. That's it really worth $50 versus Kingdom Hearts 2 on the PS2 for $50. You tell me. That kind of makes sense. And someone did basically address why they had that policy at that point. They got rid of it, by the way, was Sony knew the consumer's not going to like it. That makes sense, because would I really want to pay in the PS2 era Metal Slug 3 for the Xbox for $50? $40? Maybe $30, but $40, maybe. $50? Probably not. Capcom, SNK versus Capcom K is for $50, which is the lower end version. Than Capcom versus SNK 2 was selling in $50 versus Capcom versus SNK 2 for $40. There's something wrong there. See, in that part, I can understand why they had that policy. To some extent, I can understand also the English dub policy, and they always just say that the rule in the time. They got rid of this policy was you should always have English dub if you want for a full sale. And at the time, digital downloads were not yet a big deal. It's not a big thing yet. That's what I'm saying. It is now in 2018, but in the previous one, it wasn't so much. A lot of people like physical material, especially if you're an OG gamer, and that's the reason why they encourage sometimes English dub, because it's part of a full package. That I agree. Yes, it's a double standard. Oh, just because it doesn't have English dub, that means you can't have. It's not a full package. And a lot of people have argued that just because it doesn't have English dub, it doesn't mean that it's not a full package. They believe that it is also. At least it has voice. Again, subjective, to each their own. My opinion for that one is, if it has English dub, then it's a full package. I can understand where they're coming from of why they're always enforcing it. And if you don't have it, you can't have it physical unless one, it's exclusive for Sony, or two, you really have a good reason why, like really good reason, then they'll probably give you a pass. That one I can understand. Now with this new policy, apparently some people were claiming, and Tom from XSeed claimed that this policy basically is when there is interactive touching, quote unquote, with a video game NPC character, like in Senran Kagura Newal with the intimacy mode, they're kind of iffy, like, whoa. It's not about like brief nudity, because there's a lot of brief nudity now in some of the games. Hyperdimension Neptune has those, and they've been around since in the PS1, believe it or not. There have been games like that. Like, it's not full nudity, but it's like brief nudity. Again, for fan servicey, whatever. But when it comes to like new touch, it kind of like in Senran Kagura Reflexes. That's the game I'm talking about, for exclusive for the Switch. Which, by the way, Nintendo doesn't even have a problem with it. So we kind of see there's something wrong there. Apparently now this new policy, Sony don't like it. I don't understand. That's why Omega Labyrinth Z was denied. They said, we can't release it. They keep denying it. Screw you, blocking freedom. And apparently also the developer of Toe Jam and Earl, apparently there's a part in the game that you're supposed to do some interactive touching again. I know it's going to sound weird. Again, they said it too. Yeah, they were blocked. So first of all, I don't even get this. Like, how did even this start? Like, are there new people running in Sony in America and Europe? I think this is like bullshit in my opinion. And the sad part is that Sony had a history in the past of anti-censorship. Believe it or not, I said that before in my previous video. There was anti-censorship on their game. I said Final Fantasy VI. Look at the monster, the Esper. I just called them that. They were basically what its original state versus the Super Nintendo, and they had to modify it. Again, they were anti-censor. They've always been saying that they don't want to change anything or omit anything, unless, I guess, it's push come to shove, because Rival School, like I said it before, apparently they had to remove that mode because, well, they said one reason was, I guess, according to Capcom, it was having a hard time in development, translating it to localizing it to American was very difficult. And second, apparently Sony also said I don't think we're not comfortable with this, so we might gotta push it back. I don't know, but yeah, they got rid of that one. I mean, this is something that Nintendo would do, because they did, like I said, they did it with Fire Emblem Fate. They got rid of the touching because, for market reason, Xenoblade Chronicles X, they removed the breast feature, changing the character's age. That's a matter. Age, yeah, you can get away with it. I can understand that because it is a big deal. But it's like the breast adjustment, they don't like that. And again, there have been rumors because they want to keep that family-friendly image in the Wii U. And look what happened. Their business were sucking. When it came with the Switch, finally, they're putting game that's meant for older gamer, not for kids. Switch, it's not just for kids, it's for everyone. I'm in my 40s, and I love my Switch. I love playing the games I like. Again, thank you, Nintendo. At least they're changing. Now, Sony's changing the other way around, and it just doesn't make sense. They're the company that used to be anti-censor. They don't believe in censorship, and now, all suddenly, Yoshida, Shuei Yoshida. I mean, what's going on, man? I thought you were for the gamers. What's going on here with the policies, man? It's like, I don't understand. And then the funny part is there was a guy, I guess from UK, asked PlayStation UK why they're doing this. And let's just say the answer that he got was basically very corporate, very cop-out corporate. So to the UK PlayStation, ask PlayStation UK, all I can say to you is like, wow, basically PR corporate response, huh? Real professional. Basically, it's a bunch of bullshit. Sorry, excuse the language there, but yeah, it is a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, right now it is just irritating. Am I gonna keep a pre-order for it? Right now I'm just, because like I said, Amazon Prime. But to anyone who really strongly said this is BS, like I said, one strong thing you can do to not support Sony, but at the same time support XSeed, buy the Steam version. Buy the Steam version. I might even end up doing that too. Just buy the Steam version, just to show support to XSeed. At least they're bringing out the game. I mean, granted, with the English dub is not there, but like I said, I mean, apparently there have been rumbling that they did want to put English dub, but there was some legal issues from what I heard. Again, they're not disclosing it. Whatever. At least they did try. But again, if you want to support XSeed in the franchise, buy it on Steam. Two, like always, social media, raise awareness, let your voice heard. I don't know about petition, they got a bunch of poop. Maybe write it down to the Better Business Bureau saying that censorship is harming the community. Again, whatever. And like you said, the funny part is that ESRB themselves didn't really care. They did not care about it. They said it was okay for an M-rated game. It was Sony. They said it wasn't in their standard. So, hey, Sony, define standard. What? Your standard now is becoming so high? All high and mighty like a lord and king just because you're number one right now in the gaming industry? Yeah, I mean, they're number one, whether you like it or not. I mean, they got a lot of the games. They were for the gamer when the PS4 came out in 2013 because the Xbox One made some really grave mistake. Because of it, now they're on top. It took them a long time to embrace crossplay. I don't even know they're still embracing crossplay. They're in a beta with fork knife right there. So what you say? Oh, it's not in our standard. Define standard. High and mighty. Oh, look, Lord PlayStation, the Lord and Mighty PlayStation, because we're number one. And that is when the problem that, well, a lot of people call it. They call this one is big shot or number one syndrome or top syndrome, basically, whatever. And basically, when you're number one, you're in the lead. Nobody can compete with you, kind of like Sony in the PS2 era. Nobody could compete with Sony. GameCube couldn't do it. Dreamcast couldn't do it. Xbox couldn't do it. So they're doing this again because as of right now, PS4 is number one. The Switch is catching up. The Xbox is already redeeming themselves. And you know what? I hate to say this, but I hope Nintendo do basically become number one at this point on. I mean, hopefully now more games go to the Switch. And maybe hopefully Nintendo it'll be uncensored this time because they learned their lesson. What happened when you censor stuff? It hurts business. Let the consumer decide. If they don't like what they see, then they don't have to buy it. Why? You don't have to, you don't have to play the mode. And I mean, it's not like you're required to play the mode from what I heard. It's optional to play the mode. You don't like to play the mode, then just don't. Maybe add an option, say, turn off that mode, the intimacy mode. Turn it off if people don't like it. I mean, the funny part is a lot of the previous games, they had it. And like I said, Reflex has. I mean, that's what the game is all about. And nobody had a problem about it. All suddenly, Sony, you got a problem with it? I don't understand. Yeah, like I said, hashtag grow up, Sony. Yeah, there's nothing else to say, but it's just really frustrating. So, yeah, and that's like my follow-up and the reason why I did it. So, hopefully, and I know probably it's going to be 1% here, Sony decided to reverse the decision, which is probably not because they're being hard-cocked right now. Yes, excuse the language there, but it is what it is. They're being hard-cocked there. This is the only time I'm probably going to say that. So, again, excuse me there because I'm really kind of irritated. Or two, hopefully exit in the long run once they said, okay, fine. They can do a via update, bring it back, or DLC or whatever. But right now, I mean, if you really want the full content, the full package of the game, I would highly get it on Steam. Just everyone, cancel your pre-order for the PS4. If you really hate that mode being removed, if you want the full package, get it on Steam. It's up to you. I'm also probably going to think about it. Yep.